Hello. Is this mic just for this? Okay, so I still need a hand one. All right, cool. Okay, quickly, for those of you that are gonna listen, I have a question for you. Who here has an Aethir node? Who kind of like bought in on the nodes? All right, couple of node people. Who here has heard about the Aethir Edge, our like physical mining device? Okay, all of my team are putting up their hand. That's cheating. But I'll explain a little bit more about what we do and what those products are in a second. So let me see how this clicker works. Okay, down. All right, so just before we start, my name's Mark. As Dan said, I'm one of the co-founders here at Aethir. And at Aethir, we build distributed GPU infrastructure for AI and gaming companies. We actually started on the gaming side, almost exclusively doing GPU cloud for gaming applications. Realized pretty quickly we had an enterprise solution that was worthwhile for AI, and we are leaning into that heavily at the moment. So what do we do at Aethir? I think the best way to describe what we do is to look at the problem first. The main problem that we address is global compute scarcity. You probably heard people like Elon Musk saying that GPUs are harder to buy than drugs. You've seen large enterprises out there purchasing $10, $11 billion worth of GPUs at a hit, right? It's increasingly difficult for companies to get access to critical GPU resources. And as I'm sure you're aware, GPUs are one of the three most critical components of building AI, right? You need a model, you need data, and you need compute. So when Aethir was addressing this compute scarcity problem, we decided to take a look at the compute problem itself and kind of break it down into the elements that we think are most relevant to the issue. We took a look and we said there were pretty much 4 key problems. Don't worry, I'm not even gonna take the full 10 minutes, so it's all good. I want people to network more than I want them to listen to me, right? If you see my face and you wanna come talk to me later, I encourage that. If not, definitely find my team. Long story short, we know there's massive buy pressure, huge amount of compute buyers out there with an almost insatiable appetite for compute. Production limits, NVIDIA can only produce so many chips per year, right? And they currently can't meet the demand of the AI companies out there. Why can they not meet the demand? That's because of increasing LLM complexity. Essentially, as models get more capable, they get more expensive to train. And the exponential increase in the cost and training requirements of models is outpacing the speed at which we're advancing from the physical compute space. And then finally, the place that Aethir lives is inefficiency of resource management. A large portion of compute out there is poorly optimized, purchased by companies that don't have the ability to on-sell that compute. They don't have the ability to take the compute that they own and then make it re-available to the market from a broader compute perspective. Aethir creates essentially an infrastructure layer that allows any company to take compute that they own, connect it back into the compute ecosystem, and earn rewards for redistributing that compute. So effectively what we've built is this decentralized enterprise-grade compute infrastructure for AI and gaming companies. We aggregate compute from enterprises, tech companies, large corporates, data centers, and even crypto mining organizations. Quick look at our stack. For those of you that are aware of maybe what a compute purchasing product looks like, very, very familiar to you. Effectively, you come on, you choose what type of GPU you want, how many of them you want, how long you want it for, where that compute is. The only difference here is you'll be paying for that compute using the ATH token. If you're a really big compute buyer and maybe you don't like touching tokens, we have an avenue for you to access compute there as well. The main difference then is that we have a mechanism that still makes sure that all the value accrues to the token, so don't worry about that. Also, unlike AWS, as you can imagine, anyone that has compute that the network values highly, you can contribute that compute to our network. So if you have an H100, an A100, anything down to a 4090, you can actually come into Aethir, take your compute, and put it in our ecosystem and start earning rewards. So what makes Aethir different from other deepins in the space, particularly the compute space? The main difference is that Aethir is 100% enterprise grade. A lot of deep-in networks aggregate consumer compute, consumer hardware. Aethir only touches enterprise compute. Every GPU within our network is sitting in a data center connected to enterprise-grade network infrastructure, 100% capable of serving the biggest enterprise customers in the world. Quick look at the products that we have at Aethir. We have obviously AI training capability, AI inferencing capability. So this is just AI applications. We have a massive cloud gaming infrastructure stack where we deal with mobile cloud gaming, PC cloud gaming, everything through cloud publishing. And then on this corner here, we have this virtualized compute stack. It's a little bit more of a corporate compute product where we serve companies like China Mobile, for example, the biggest telco in the world. Just a quick look at the gaming ecosystems. I think this is one that a lot of people don't understand. There's roughly 3.3 billion gamers out there. 2.8 billion of them are gaming on low-end devices. If you ask yourself what needs to change for those gamers to have access to the latest and greatest content, or for the latest and greatest game publishers to access those gamers with low-end devices, what needs to change? Well, effectively, there's three scenarios here that are going to onboard that 2.8 billion gamers on low-end devices, right? The first, we make them more rich. All of a sudden, they can afford a high-end phone or a PlayStation 5. Probably not very likely. Second option is we democratize access to GPU compute or processing compute. All of a sudden, you can take a really expensive chip, make it really, really cheap, and then everyone has one of these high-performance chips. Also not very likely. Most likely solution in my mind, and really the only way to address this hardware disparity, is by taking technology we already own, which is cloud gaming, the ability to do cloud processing, and then abstract away the hardware layer from users, and fix the scalability issue. So figure out simply how to scale it better than we currently can. And that's exactly what Aethir does on the gaming side. Don't worry, I'm almost done. Some recent highlights: we raised around 150 million in a node sale. We just recently listed across all Korean exchanges, which was pretty cool. One of only 4 projects in history that had a simultaneous listing across every major exchange in South Korea. We're partnered with NVIDIA and some of the biggest telcos in the world. Thank you. And our team is fast approaching 200 people, so it's getting pretty crazy. Quickly want to touch on Aethir Edge, this cool device here. It's a device that you can purchase. It sits in your home. It operates as an enterprise-capable edge node, effectively allowing Aethir to tap into the edge computing infrastructure that we're building and offer that up to enterprise customers. It's perfect for real-time processing that benefits from low latency access to compute. It's perfect for agentic models and small models that the small or low parameter models that can operate again in low latency environments. It's a very cool device. We partner with Qualcomm. It has their latest chip inside. Effectively, you take this device, you plug it into your power network, you connect it to your Wi-Fi, and then you have an enterprise-capable node that Aethir will push work to. And as a result of that, you'll be able to earn rewards. What's really cool about this device, and this is maybe Aethir's worst-kept secret, is that this device will actually be mining other tokens as well. So we'll have virtualized streams within this device that will allow it to actually mine other AI projects, other crypto projects, essentially giving you a portfolio access to deep-in projects in the space in a really cool way. That's pretty much everything from me. I'll leave that in the background for a second. But I would just like to say that there was a really big announcement we made just in the latter half of this week. And that was that we were onboarding far more compute providers into our network. So if you have GPUs, if you have anyone in your network that has enterprise access to GPUs, now is the perfect time to talk to Aethir. We're willing and open and ready to accept enterprise compute providers into our ecosystem in a way that far exceeds our capability from earlier this year. So it's a really big step for us. And there's some fantastic opportunities for people that are coming into the ecosystem early, and some really great rewards for everyone to participate. So thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you, and hope you're having a great time.
Can you just introduce